Get on. Yeah,
Wow.
that's what we have to do.
I like it.
The human sacrifices had to stop. That was the big thing. All right, let's see if this still put us over, even though it says it didn't. It did. And let's record this. Oh, this gets fancy, doesn't it? All right, let's see if we're up. We are up. Sure my volume's down before we start. We got a nice little crowd tonight because it's Whiskey Wednesday gone wild. Juan Coronado is here tonight. He is going to go and show us, take us to the wonderful world of tequila tonight. So I hope you're all prepared. I don't want anybody getting wild, especially in the back there. Mijenta Tequila, and was a big hit this year at our Tequila Rosé Festival. So yeah, did you know you didn't know we had that, did you?
Oh,
No. We do it every year the day before Mother's Day.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
It's
all
quite
right.
interesting because, we are in the future already of tequila. Like 15, 16 years ago, tequila was something in the bar, was moving, but very slowly.
Right.
And ladies made it fashionable, they pay attention to it.
Uh,
They understood quality versus quantity,
mm-hmm.
and they started picking on that. I like this one better than this one, but to the ladies,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. That's true. Now, still, even in the United States, the number one cocktail is still a margarita, which uses tequila. So, I mean, the taste of tequila is sort of taking. We always talk about like what's hot, what's this, what's that, but to me, it's always the things that are sustainable over a long period of time, and
True.
it's been there for a long period of time. So you can say like we talk about whiskey, or we talk about, oh, it's rum's turn, rum's coming up. I go, wow, okay, what's the number one cocktail? It's a margarita. So guess what? That's tequila's going to be there. It's got to be there.
And to your point, if you look at the list of the top 10 cocktails every year, which I pay attention to
Of
that
course you do.
because it's a thing, he kind of like, give you the signals of what's
Right.
going to be selling or not. You have the margarita. Yes, you have your daiquiri, pina colada still out there because we all love resorts and we go on vacations,
That's right.
hopefully. And God forbid you're in a vacation without a picture and a pina colada. You were not there. That's the proof. But you have the Paloma,
Yep.
which is
Again.
rapidly going very fast. I will say Paloma right now is number 4.
Okay.
You have tequila taking market share over the espresso martini.
Ooh. Oh.
Yes. As a matter of fact, to be quite honest with you, I haven't done this seminar, but I'm working on it. It's one of those like, back burners
Yeah.
progress thing. I have many of those. There is evidence that the espresso martini has his early beginnings with the café de olla,
Yes.
like
Which
spiked.
Yeah. Which is the
When you make café
right.
de olla in Mexico, which is a clay pot, you grind the beans, you roast them, the whole thing is a process. Then you like brew your coffee with spices such as cinnamon,
Mm-hmm.
cacao, a little bit of vanilla, and then you heat it up, put some sticks together, heat it up, and then you brew that beautiful pot of coffee. Then you add piloncillo, which is the rock brown sugar from Mexico,
Okay.
like sugar in the raw, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
solid. And then you let it be. But you're not gonna finish that whole thing. So when you come back from work, what do? Heat it up a little bit, and you add a pinch of salt to bring the minerality of it.
Oh,
And
that's a
then
good
if
idea.
people come and join them, visit you at a surprise,
Yep.
you pull that bottle of tequila mezcal and you spike it. And then
Yeah.
you have it. So, hey, I'm sorry about the Italians. I love their espresso martini. I love you too, guys. But yeah, they were doing it that way before time, in Mexico. So the origins of the espresso martini, which is a very popular cocktail, it's there. Another one,
Okay.
the old fashioned,
All right.
the tequila negronis. Tequila is everywhere. We can't avoid it. We love it. It's tequila time, guys. So
Well, but that's okay. So I've been in this business a while, right? And now the coffee selection has grown. Coffee liqueurs have grown
yeah,
because of espresso martinis, right? And but I also remember a time where you had, and this is, by the way, this is other thing, you had Kahlua, which has always been made with rum, even though it says it now, always been made with rum, never tequila,
Yeah,
right?
with
Which
sugar
Mexican
cane,
rum, yeah,
sugar cane
right?
alcohol. Yeah,
I mean, some people will say some of the tequilas made with the same thing, but anyways, but anyways,
he said it, not me.
I
Okay.
said it. I'll be the one getting in trouble. But Patron came out with the cafe. There was always the XO, and I think that was one of the first introductions for a lot of people to have in this country is to have tequila with coffee, and it goes very very well as a base spirit in the coffee because I think a lot of the flavors actually enhance the flavor of the coffee.
Indeed, coffee, like it or not, is the thing or the flavor that we know the most. When somebody tells you smells like coffee, it's because there's coffee. Tastes like coffee is because it has coffee. It's a unique flavor. It's coffee, right?
Yeah, it's
I don't
coffee.
know anything else like coffee,
Right.
but coffee. So a coffee liqueur is something that is, quotidien, like every day. We do drink coffee, we smell it, or perhaps you don't drink coffee, but there's a moment that your coworkers or your partners are drinking coffee, and you know the smell, you know the aroma, you know the time,
Yeah.
the kind of like the celebratory uh, religious thing that we do. Oh, let's have a coffee, for example. I'll meet you at the coffee shop. It means you're gonna have your shitty chat time, and you're gonna figure it out,
It's
And
one. It's the one. I'm going to point it this way. It's the one other beverage that doesn't contain alcohol that brings people together.
indeed, indeed,
Think about that.
coffee solves
Right.
problems, and it brings problems to the table too, and so many things. Imagine you can use that and then have a cocktail at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's me.
That's like up and
Yeah.
down and sideways all at the same time.
Uh,
All right, we got way
I saw a
off
couple of
topic. I
you
know
have
we
it.
did. We went down a rabbit hole, which is always fun, anyway.
Yeah, sorry.
But well, there's a rabbit on this, isn't there?
But there's plenty of
Yes,
them.
plenty of rabbits. So too far off. We have some really good treats for you guys to try tonight. Um, our lovely rep said he gave us some extra different expressions to try out tonight, which is great.
Yeah, it's going to be a very fun one. And I want to be quite honest with all of you present here. I'm very thankful that you guys all show up to this. I had no idea that this was going to be so cool and so pro. I would have dressed better, better hat
You're
too.
way better
But
dressed than I am. You're okay. Don't worry about
I
it.
thank you guys all for being here and being part of this. I think it's an open mic for everybody. If there's a tequila or agave question or something
Right.
about hospitality, I'm here for that.
Anybody that asks question, just so that you know too, I will repeat the question so people online can know the question.
Hear it, yeah.
Okay. So let's get started. First of all, tell me about the brand. Tell me like a little bit of its origins here.
So I
Because
used
you're the
to
co-founder, so
Yeah.
I got the right guy in front of me.
or next to you. Yeah. So I've been in this industry for quite some time, and I work for a very important rum company for 12 years. And as a matter of fact, my first day on you know, when I was called out of the bench to pitch, it was in Boston. My first day, like it was incredible, and I remember it like today. There was
You didn't like
something.
Pedro Martinez?
It's a thing, Boston. I love Boston. Boston love me, and But years ago, I come from the background in hospitality. I still own restaurants and bars. Nowadays in Washington D.C. To your beck and call. If you're ever there, reach out. And I used to operate and run an own business in New York as well. And the hospitality was definitely that door that was always shiny and beautiful for me. And I went through it and kind of like it started specializing in different things. One of the first bar that I was part of was a champagne bar in New York City in Tribeca. So I was like, hey, here I am, a Pedro Martinez looking guy talking about champagne. I need to figure this out better. So I went and became a sommelier and got it all right. Put my lingo, my ooh la la, ululu, and great and fantastic. It worked out. Second hat, rum.
Rum.
Yeah, started working in the rum industry, figured it out. Yeah, I'm from the Caribbean, in case you guys didn't notice. But it turned out to be a very important one experience for me because I was mentored by maestros roneros or rum masters,
Yeah.
and then I was a rum master apprentice for quite some time, and I know a couple of things about rum too. So go figure. Fast forward, um, 2001, I ended up no 2000 sorry 1998. I ended up going to Mexico for a different plan, sport. Car was into car racing back in
Okay.
the day. There was an important race that happened, and I did it 3 years in a row. And mezcal appears well, as a revelation to me in the 90s.
You had that
And for
aha,
me,
that aha moment.
yeah, it was incredible. And for me, mezcal was something that has a warmth that you uh, respect, like the products up there. And
Malort.
yes, you have to like think about it twice, the warm, the thing, and you're like, you're curious about this. And then I was served some that didn't have the warm, and I argue with the guy who made it. That's no mezcal. Where's the
That
warm?
tastes good.
That is, it is nice. I can't drink this. This is no mezcal. And like, explanation after the old one came by, and um, I was blown away by the whole process of it, the time that it took these agaves to grow, the
Yeah.
carrying, the production, there was no computers, there was not even tools to measure the alcohol there. How do they know? And one thing led to the other. Here we are today. Tequila was always in the back of my head, and I remember 2018. I was convinced that I need to do this, and I was still working in the rum industry. Um, I still had my coffee shops in DC and bars and this, and I was like, all right, decision time. I go in, go to Mexico, one-way ticket, and pandemic hit. I was ready to launch. So many hiccups along the way that I would love to tell you, but due to time. But anyways, the name of my brand is called Mijenta. What I wanted to do was to like hug and kind of like serve as an homage to the people that work the land, the
Mm.
people that work in the processes and the tradition of tequila, and the people like us that enjoy by drinking it responsible too. And for me, that was that celebration. Yeah, I go into an institution in Mexico called the Comarcan, which validates the intellectual property of
Okay.
companies.
Yeah.
And I go, my tequila is called Mi Gente, my people, translation, in case you didn't know. And they go like, hey, 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 meaning you want to be the owner of all of us? If we give you that right? I'm like, not quite
Not quite
right,
as I
but
was going. Yeah.
like,
Not what I was going for.
they told me like, you want to think about it, come back. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. So using the phonetics of it, mi gente became the closest things. We have a maestra tequilera. Her name is Ana Maria Romero Mena, which is the goddess of tequila. And I'm not just selling it to you. Look it up. She's the big mama. Ana Maria is today the number one maestra tequilera in Mexico. And that's amazing. She has developed different profiles of tequila. Like luck sent her to me, and destiny, and one way or the other one, I went to her and I like, Ana Maria, I want to design a profile of tequila that is culinary. I want to like sit down with a bottle and have my friends and eat food, have conversations, and embody life. And that's what I
Okay.
want to do. Can we do that into liquid? I don't know. Let's try. Let's see what we come up with. And we did like 17 different profiles, and like at one point there was one that was unfiltered, that was the most traditional one. I was like, this is it, this is our tequila.
You ended up with like sort of the most traditional tequila you sort of had. Is that's the one you ended up with? And it
Correct.
makes perfect sense because a traditional one would have been the one you had with food,
Exactly. And at the end of the
right? 'Cause
day,
what was it all about? It was
I,
about eating and having friends and sitting down for a meal and being together.
I didn't want to like put in the heavy experience of cocktails that I have into like the thought of
You want
process
to
of this.
overthink it.
No, it was traditional. If the base is good, we'll figure it out the rest.
Right.
And that was the process. So that's what mi gente stands for: the land, the people, and life. And those are the ethos of the brand. And We are very happy that a lot of good things happen along the way. We're the first B Corp tequila or agave company in the world, the first B Corp
You guys,
certified.
I don't think B Corp's as big in the United States. You guys know what that is? Yeah.
As
Yes.
consumers, it should resonate to you
It's gonna
because
start
it
to be
means
more bigger thing.
this product is the social structure, the corporation, the land, the way we treat the land, the people, and everything, every layer of the company, it means is good for the planet. And we were not like creating a product just to get that. It happens to us by putting the effort on things. As a matter of fact, I didn't want to put a cork on our bottles. I'm opposed, like when you have spirits, to have corks because I don't drink that fast. A bottle might be sitting a few months,
Yep. Yep.
summer, winter, and then you get hit, and then the cork start deteriorating because of the alcohol.
Right.
The alcohol start punching it, and you get color into your spirits. You get flavor and aroma as well. So we did glass on glass. The first bottles were a glass tub. I don't know if you saw it.
Yep.
A few people had difficulties opening. Right now, we're with a byproduct of bagasse of agave,
Okay.
which is quite nice and is making the whole 360. Our bottles are 100% recycled glass from Mexico. When the pandemic hit, there was no containers. Everybody was out of bottles because all the bottles for big companies that come from China, I didn't have a problem at all. As a matter of fact, guys, that was a great opportunity for us because I know big brands of tequila that they produce a lot, and hotels and bars were out of those tequilas. They couldn't get a bottle of X brand, and they calling out, "Do you have tequila?" And I'm like, how many pallets do you want?
Right. We're
It was,
ready.
that was the
Ready to
answer.
go.
We got
Right,
it.
right.
We're ready. You want to pick it up, or should I bring it to you? And it helps us a little bit to expand the company.
Correct.
So right now we are in about 27 countries.
Oh, really? Great.
Yes, we're in at least I would say 40 states already, right? Close to
Closer to
50.
50. There you go.
Yeah, I received some great news from Hawaii the other day, and we're there. Amazing. So
I think he's already planning his trip. He's like, oh, I need to visit
yeah,
Hawaii. Here we go.
yeah, love that.
You
But
make sure you get your plane flight in plenty of time.
I got to work on that. Yeah, I got to work on that.
All right, so let's start with, like you say, you can't do anything unless you have a good base,
Exactly.
right? So we're starting with your Blanco tequila.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you pretty quickly a little bit about the process just to remind you of it.
Yep.
But again, we're starting with the base. For me, a Blanco is the most important tequila because that's what reflects the true identity or DNA of your brand.
You
Okay?
can't make anything else better if you don't start with something great.
What's the difference between a good tequila and a tequila that is okay? It's just the process. Tequila should just be agave, water, and yeast.
That's it.
That's what it's supposed to be. It should have character and personality like ours, of course, but that's defined by the experience and the glass. All right. When you start taking away or adding things, you're changing and modifying that traditional tequila style profile. And we want to stay within it. So we're going to start with the Blanco. For us to make Blanco, we have to harvest agave. Agave, it's a plant, as you guys know, but people tend to think that it's a cacti or that is a succulent related plant. Nothing to do with it. Agave plants in the tequila use, Blue Weber Americana, as we call it. It's a family of the asparagi. When they are like fully mature, a quiote or a blossom comes in like a shoot, about 14, 15, up to 17 feet high, and it looks like a giant asparagus. And that's the quiote. The quiote, as it grows, it blossoms, and it has fruits. Imagine all the energy of the plant starts to gravitate up there to create seeds. Those seeds are very important. They're basically the object transmit the energy, the DNA of the plant per se. And without seeds, it's very difficult to maintain a strong source of agave. Agave plants are mostly cultivated by having the offsprings from the root, the shoots. We call them hijuelos. There's a round of 6 every time or more. The first few rounds you can plant it and they may survive. When the plant is like mature and the huelos comes out, they come out very weak and you cannot plant them. Some people do and whatever. But the seeds are very important. Keep that on a parenthesis somewhere because we're going to talk about the seeds in a few. Let's go into the blanco. So we harvest these plants at 7 year old. You have to wait at least 7 years in our case for it to have a full on reach maturity. We take the piña, we cut it, we shave it, we leave about 3/4 of an inch of the green foliage that covers it, of the waxy, and then we cut them in half. The shoot in the center is discarded because it's bitter, the cojollo, and then we take those halves and we cook them. We caramelize the sugars in them. Agave has a natural sugar called inulin, which is the agave nectar that we all know that is healthy nowadays, that doesn't trigger diabetes,
Yes,
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's a big industry, by the way. Like most of the agave is for that, not for tequila, by the way.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, it's a big industry growing. Eventually, it's been said that the FDA is going to substitute sugar for inulin at some point, and I don't know. I'm not a food expert, but that's a business. Let's go back to this one. For Blanco, we cook those piñas into autoclaves or brick ovens with steam. Okay, this is very important. One of the difference between tequila and mezcal is the cooking process of the piñas. We use clean steam. We control these tools, the autoclave or the brick ovens, as a induction or fire.
Sure.
There's zero smoke going on. You cook them softly. We cooked.
But they also cook evenly.
Yeah.
Too, right?
It cooks evenly. Yeah, one
No hot spots.
one ton of pressure, 1 kilo, and we cook them for several hours. After that, we open those ovens, we let them cool off, and then manually we get to transport them into a conveyor belt. Immediately, that belt brings them into a crusher. In here, we use a crusher that it keeps them moving, and it starts like breaking the soft piñas out into fibers and pieces, and then we add water, and then we press them. That juice that smells so rich and intense is aguamiel. We call it aguamiel. So that goes straight directly into a tank to be fermented. Fermentation in our case is quite long. We ferment for 97 hours. I have friends in the industry of tequila that have other tequilas that they always think that I'm making vinegar out there because it's taking too long. But we know our yeast. Once you know your Saccharomyces cerevisiae, when you know how rapidly or how aggressive or slow at the right temperatures, you're in key.
What are you using? What are you using for yeast? Are you using something that you use a proprietary yeast, or
it's a propagated yeast, that we
okay.
used. Yeah, Ana Maria was able to create this pattern for us, but yeast is very important.
Yeah.
It's very delicate. If the temperature goes over, I don't know,
Start killing it.
in their case, 64 degrees of hours,
Okay.
you're in danger. If it goes above 70, you're losing your batch, if it's too hot. So we need to control pH, alcohol production, and temperature. Very important. In the case of Ana Maria, it's every hour on the hour that we need to control this while we're fermenting. Let's say we survive fermentation. We have already an initial alcohol in there. It's kind of like a little wine or a beer alcohol level. Then we process that initial alcohol batch and we pass it to distillation. We do 2 distillations, cutting twice, heads and tails. And that's tequila. That's what we're about to try. We give it approximately 15 days of resting or to homogenized.
That gives you a lot of the volatility away. Is that sort of like by resting it like that?
We're believers in this is chemistry,
Yeah.
And you need to let the dust settle a little bit. And all these molecules of alcohol that are like there. Alcohol, by the way, of ethanol of agave is very complex. because you have a lot of fatty acids due to the agave in there.
Mm.
That's hence the fact, that texture, the acidity that naturally happens in tequila. So you need to allow it to like settle a little bit, okay? So this is the Blanco, it's the number one. We're gonna go ahead and I would love to teach you a little bit of how to enjoy tequila. The perfect, so you have a question, yes.
Where are you getting your agave? Do you
That's
get
an
both from one
amazing question.
source or around?
Yeah, there's 5 states that you can grow blue weber agave for tequila production, and there's 5 places, those same 5 states, you can make tequila in. And the most popular one is Jalisco. There is Tamaulipas, Michoacan, Nayarit, and you have also Guanajuato. But Jalisco is the one with the most altitude and also with the lowest as well, one of the lowest. And we harvest exclusively from the highlands of Jalisco, from the Los Altos. What happens there? A lot of things. We are basically restricted by one rainy season, which happens around now. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, yeah. And then you cannot harvest because it's difficult to get in. It rains like crazy, and the altitude does protect the agave and actually kind of like cluster the agave from growing fast because you don't get that much humidity. You get sun exposure all the time.
Is it similar to when we talk about wine is stressing the vine? Is
Correct.
that like, so the higher altitude sort of stresses the plant out, so it slows it down, but you get more complexity and you get a lot
Indeed.
more,
You get more minerality as well.
right?
And in the case of our, in the highlands of Jalisco, you have a more fruity, more flowery aromas out of tequila made in the highlands, from agave from the highlands, than in the valleys. It's a little bit more grassy, more green.
You can't give it if you give the plant everything it wants. We were talking about this earlier. It's sort of like it gets too much, and it doesn't show that complexity. It doesn't show. It's sort of almost not flat, but it's not as interesting as the plants that are growing and being stressed.
Correct. Yeah. I think this stressful situation, especially in the early years of the plant, where they learn how to like find nutrients. The
Right.
roots of those agaves
down.
from the highlands are like super deep.
Deep, right?
And underneath in Jalisco is an aquifer, but that water that comes in permeates through.
Right.
And you have that water also. You cannot forget that 60% of this is water. It's only 40% alcohol. Water is everything. So that water is very important.
Mm.
The water that we use is from right there. We bring it to a neutral so it doesn't change on us out
Okay.
of the sudden. And
Do you use like a reverse osmosis?
Yeah, we do reverse osmosis and demineralization to bring it up to our numbers.
Okay.
To have that constant water all the time, and it's important for us. So with that water we cut, with the water we ferment, we do everything. So, but yeah, we own everything of the flavor and complexity to these tequilas due to the highlands of Jalisco. It's from there. So I wanted to show you guys the first thing, the perfect glass for this, and don't be shy. We all know that you guys have champagne flutes at home. Dust them out, get them out, and try your tequilas with it. A little bit, like a portion like this on a champagne flute, mix it in. I mean, if you're fancy, I'm sure you guys done many whiskey classes here, and you have your Glencairns there too. You can use those too. So we need a vessel that is kind of like a tulip with a narrow mouth. You don't want all the complexity to just run out of the glass.
Like that. That'd be a good one.
That's perfect. Yeah. So
that one's dirty. I'm not going to use that one.
Looking at the color, looking at the color, it's a clear tequila. Yes. It hasn't seen any barrels whatsoever. It's a second distillation. Hearts being preserved. And then we're going to like basically place the glass at chin level.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
Allow the tequila to send you an invitation. If that doesn't happen, put it down and walk away. So you need to be able to start get charmed by the aromas, grassy, floral, fruity, some vegetable too. Yeah. If that all resounds and you agree with all of it, let's get friendlier. Okay, it smells better, closer. I like it. I feel a minerality on it,
Mm.
and I haven't tried it yet. Sort of like
No,
saline
it's too late.
citrus.
They already drank it already. I'm just going to
Ooh,
disappoint you, but
I have a
that was
little bit
really
of-
good in theory.
It worked. It worked,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They're they've already drank all of them while we've been talking. So
In my opinion, this tequila has an element that is grassy,
yeah,
which is refreshing to me. Citrus as well. It reminds me of like limes
yeah.
and
It already ends.
yeah,
It does smell like you already added them.
yeah, and very important. One that I always find very unique to Mijenta Blanco is the cucumber
Mm.
or cantaloupe in there. There is a floral note. The ladies are like very good with the flowers. Gardenias. I grew up in a gardenias place with my grandma. Like, yeah, it reminds me of it. Let's go ahead and give it a nice small little sip. I know you drank yours. Then you take that sip. We're gonna warm it up to kind of like a scope wash. We're gonna take it in and immediately exhale the rest of oxygen through your mouth. Okay?
That's the same thing we talk about with whiskey too. Is like never trust your first sip, but your second sip that really matters. You know, you're acclimating yourself with what you're talking about. You just acclimated your mouth to this great tequila, but now you want to really taste it.
Yeah, especially as I was spotted early on at a bar nearby having espresso martini. I need to do that. Yeah.
Get the coffee out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pleasing. I mean, you get a little bit of that white pepper there,
Yeah.
but then when it passes away, it's pregnant. It's like, you know, refreshing, but it has
It's got that
nuances.
cool. It's like cooling sort of
Do me a
flavor.
favor and let's do the same thing all over again. Don't drink water yet. Wait, there's a trick in there.
Okay.
You need more. As you said, the second sip is even more convincing.
Right.
It's a demonstration of like the true energy of the product, you know? Right now, I feel more complexity going on. I even feel like texture. I feel like,
I think
sometimes
it's
when you
big
like,
in texture.
when you take a spoon of olive oil,
Yep.
you get that coating.
Yep.
Do me a favor, pass your tongue through the inside of your cheeks and through your gums.
Pick it up.
You get that?
Yep.
That texture, that beautiful aroma, the flavor.
Try this at home.
Sweet.
By all means.
Yes, yes, it's safe to try it at home. That is the true evidence that you guys have drank tequila that has mature 100% agave. That is your tool. Try with any other tequilas. As a matter of fact, try it with one that you don't like, perhaps. I don't know if there's one that you don't like. Try it. That's a test. That like silky sensation on your palate, it's from the agave, 100%. It's not overly sweet. It's neither bitter or it's not missing that romanticism of the cooked agave,
Yep.
which some processes may do. Um,
Well,
so
like as I always say, if your tequila tastes like a birthday cake, you need new tequila.
yes, that's a good one actually. I steal that from you.
Please.
There's
do.
different processes on tequila. We have tequila that is traditional, the one that we just had. We had tequila that is industrial. Um, I'm sure you know a few. There is this amazing machine that is 3 times the size of this room that you know it will save you time and perhaps money.
Put the pina in, tequila come out
you
the other side.
you put the pin. You don't have to wait the 7 years for the pina to be mature. Could be a 4, 5, whatever. You put it in, and it's tequila. They hand you a bottle on the other side, and that's called the diffuser. And for me, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I personally don't tend to like that type of products because it lacks of that romantic toasting caramelization notes that cooking the pina allows you to have. It's missing that richness on the fermentation, I think. And
It's okay in a frozen margarita machine in New Orleans. That's the perfect one to use it for.
Wow.
Because I know
Wet
you're going
Willis.
there. I know you're going.
Wet Willis.
Right? That's perfect for that. But for people that are going to even make a really nice margarita and stuff like that, that's what you don't want.
I personally, this is how I drink my tequila. Most of the time with
Yeah.
the sparkling water because it refreshes your palate, cleans
Right.
it a little bit. But that's how I drink it. And somebody in Texas invented the ranch water. That's a great cocktail. I love it. It's
Yeah.
just tequila and soda with the
Yeah.
lime. Save the lime for somebody else, but
That's
uh,
okay. Yeah.
that's how I do it.
Right.
It allows me every time I try tequila to understand a little bit of the processes and the intention of the tequila maker behind it, because there's a signature behind every tequila, and they might coat it with a great story or great tradition. We can talk about stories all day, but let's move on. How about we try?
Well, let me ask you,
I'm
what did
sorry.
what did you guys think of the Blanco?
By the
Now, I
way,
know some of you have had more experience with tequila than others. What, like, a little sweet? Yeah. Yeah, but not like, I don't know. It has a tinge of sweetness to it, but but you can, it's from the agave. You can
I
definitely
would have
tell.
read that and make sure everybody lives with the right idea. There is zero sugar or nothing added to it,
That's
so
right.
there's
It's a
not
perception.
sweet. It's fruity.
Yeah.
That is different. You get your stone
We
fruit flavors, and yeah,
and by the way, that's a lot of times when we're trying to hitch people up with product and stuff like that, and they describe what they're doing, they do exactly that to say, it was sweet. And then when we try them on a couple different things, we realize it's not sweet. It's the fruitiness that they like. Because the problem with sweet is it leaves a different lingering mouthfeel and all that stuff on you. And fruity can be dry and fruity, and sweet is not the same thing. It can leave a lot more behind.
yes, it's a layer.
Yeah.
We have another question over
Yes. Well, yeah, exactly. You can take a little bit of the tequila and put it on your palm and do that. And if you feel it like sort of sticky, you don't want that. You want it to be. You want your hand to
Yes.
be dry.
With any white spirit, you can definitely tell right there.
If there's
yeah.
sugar,
And
either natural or otherwise,
yeah,
or otherwise.
but I want to make a little parenthesis, if I may. I want to bring all of you to the clear, the clearness of tequila. Um, I don't know if you guys have heard that some tequilas may have additives. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Like things added or taken away. I'm gonna be very honest. I'm gonna put my consumer hat right now. Tequila, in my opinion, it's the only on the alcohol category spirit that came forward and straight like, hey, consumers, this is how we do it. Some may add, some may not. Some may say they don't and they do, and whatever. Um, the laws of tequilas are written into a 7 pages compendium called the Norm, and it hasn't been revised since 1971. It's been a long time, and things have changed, etc. But guess what? Rum, whiskey, cognac, they all use additives too, and nobody's saying anything about it. But tequila is. So kudos to tequila for the little bit of honesty that they're sharing to consumers. And I'm very thankful for that. Yes.
I think it's one of those type of things. Is like I don't know. I'm gonna judge with how something tastes if I like it or not. I'm on those other thing part too. Is like, just tell me. I really don't have a problem. It depends. Like if I'm spending like dirt on tequila, I know it's probably got something, but just tell me it. It's fine. It's okay. There's plenty of things that people drink upstairs that I don't like, and that it has additives and it has stuff, but just let them know that it does. And I think like that's cool. Like however you want to do it, it's fine as long as you let them. I think at the end of the day, it's the transparency
Yes.
that one. Don't say you don't when you do,
Yeah.
and don't say you do when
Don't
you
get
don't.
busted. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Let's
it's
not
just gonna
get
make
there.
you're just gonna look foolish. That's all.
And I admire that transparency that as a category tequila has had, and that's great. I wish every alcohol bottle, including beers and everything, will have a full description on the back label naming every and each one of the ingredients That will be fantastic. Everything that we consume should have the list of ingredients.
And I was a kid, I would used to read, like, I would sit down and have cereal, and I would read the entire cereal box.
Wow.
So you know what I mean? Like that's
Just to repeat another bowl,
Right,
right?
yeah, yeah. You're just like reading the thing. So I would do the same thing as I'm drinking like something in a glass. I'd look at that can and just know everything that they put in it, and that's fine. Like again, I don't care. It's like I want to know. That's all. I other than that, I just want to know what I'm putting when I'm putting it. It's not going to stop me.
No, of course not. But the information should be available.
Right,
And
exactly.
that's it.
Exactly.
You know.
Yes. 0.1% of all companies make B Corp qualifications or certifications. Wow. It's very difficult. Transparency.
Yep.
Yep.
We can
Which is really difficult when you make the whole building out of glass.
I mean, we're not a big company. We don't have a safe full of like documents and secrets that we don't want the world to know. We're not there. We're never going to be there. This is a project that comes out of the heart and it's very fun and it's very competitive. But you know what? I am here. I don't know how many founders of a brand have you guys met. I'm here because I love this and the passion comes out of my heart and like I'll be here tomorrow if you ask me, invite me again and yes, I love this
And Juan never left.
yes.
Stayed in the room in the back. We have him in the room in the back.
All right.
All right. Well, if we have any questions about tequila, we know where exactly where to go. All right. So let's try the next one on our list. And I know a couple of you basically bought us out during our tequila rosé festival of the next one, which is the reposado.
All right. So that's
Right?
number 2.
Right, Jesse? Yes. I'm pointing to you, Jesse.
It was not his fault.
It was not his fault.
Yeah.
It's never his fault.
He bought
We
a
know
good product.
we know whose fault it is, don't we? No. All right.
So right now, I wanted to open your eyes to a segment in tequila, a category that we call it reposado, which means rested. We're going to have several reposados together. It's up to you to understand the category or the manipulation of the tool that we call barrels. We call them barrels, and it's amazing. Okay, so according to the norm, a blanco tequila can be aged in a used American white oak barrel or any barrel up to 3 months. Anything from 3 months all the way to 11 to 12 or before 12 months is called reposado or rested. Anything 12 months up to 3 years is called añejo. Anything 3 year past is extra añejo or gran añejo. Okay? Now, there's few files between those segments. There is a product called Tequila Joven or Yon that kind of like lives between Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. So in other words, it's a tequila blanco that you added either a little bit of añejo or reposado. We don't see much of that, those products here in the States, but they are delicious too. If you ever see one, be curious. If you're looking for a robust blanco, joven is your call, okay? Now, in the reposados, you can use whatever you want. For many years, the tradition was use American white oak barrels. Of course, we are all in line on the Jack Daniels because they are the best. Even Japanese whiskey makers from Scotland, everybody's behind those in the rum industry. Everybody has to make the line here for Jack Daniels barrels. And unfortunately, Mexico is way back on the line for those. So lately, we might be able to see a resurgence on how to use barrels, and it's quite interesting what has happened. So in our case, Ana Maria, our maestro tequilera, developed a resting period, which is very interesting. We call in 3 different types of barrels, 3 different woods to create this profile. So we took the Blanco, placed it in used American white oak. We took the Blanco, we placed it in cherry barrels, cherry wood, and we took the Blanco and we placed it also into acacia or Hungarian.
Hungarian
That's
oak.
after a certain time, we brought them in together. We did a blend, and we have reposado, which is the one that we're gonna try, which is this bottle with the green label. Okay, so this has approximately 9 months, depending on
Mm.
if it's 2 winters in the process, it's gonna be, a little longer. If it's 2 summers, it might be under 9 months. So in here, we're showcasing a hint of spices, hint of cacao, a bit of nuttiness like marzipan. We have beautiful elements of the toastiness of these barrels, which are most char number 4, and some of them are new, so they have a quite a velocity when it comes to maturing the product. For me, it needs time to breathe. It needs times to oxidize on the palate because it opens up. I love this with an ice cube or in a old fashioned. Oh, it's just rich. It's nice. So I'll leave it up to you guys to enjoy it.
You definitely get sort of little bit of the spiciness from that Hungarian barrel, and you definitely that sherry barrel sort of pops, and you get almost that little, almost like little white, little red wine
Red
sort of,
fruit.
yeah, red fruit, red wine sort of flavor to it too. I can see why you guys were fighting over this one. The fight was short lived in that you won.
This is a product that I do personally me enjoy it at home. It's
This is
it,
very lovely. I
it
love
gets
this a
me
lot.
comfortable
Yeah.
to drink this product in a nice glass and just do nothing and maybe read. I don't know.
But
Watch a
this is
movie.
a thinking person's a tequila, because there's a lot of depth going on to this. There's a lot of flavors that are popping in this that I don't think everybody, like, you can explore this one,
I,
which is different than some of the other reposados, which sort of like, are, they're nice, but they're like they don't have this complexity.
and to your point, I think these products, this product in a specific, it explodes with certain umami to it, certain body texture,
Yeah.
certain richness that it's quite nice. It brings a hint of vanilla, a hint of cacao, nutmeg, spices. Let's just call it baking spices, so we're all in the same picture. But it brings a hint of that, and it's quite pleasant. Very
And there's a
nice,
real sort of vibrancy that sort of sits in the middle of the tongue on this one too.
without losing certain um, beautiful acidity because it's there, and it's not losing that fruitiness that we
But
mentioned earlier.
there's a vibrancy.
Yes.
Yeah. You aged it without going overboard.
The purpose here was to create a tequila profile. I do hate. I shouldn't say that word.
You dislike.
I dislike when my tequilas are trying to be whiskeys because I
Right.
love whiskey too. I like whiskey that tastes like whiskey.
Right.
When there's that identity crisis between one and the other one,
Yeah.
I think there was a flaw, a flaw it was a mistake on the profile, on the direction where the product was going to, or the design, whatever you want to call it. Somebody like kind of like missed that alert and let it go too much. I want to taste the agave. That's why I'm here. I want to drink tequila. I want my tequila to taste like agave. That's what I
Right.
love about it.
Right. What do you guys think of this one? Like it? A question? Are you aging them in the separate woods and then blending them together?
Correct.
Yeah. So it's not consecutive or anything like that. All right. So it's three different woods, and then you could control. You just don't take like 3 barrels and throw 3 barrels in. It's
No,
so
no, no.
much of this one, so much of that one. Then that's the art of the blend.
Yeah, and to be quite honest with you, this is like the big homework because we need to study how this each one individual barrel is
Right.
evolving through time. So we have a team, a tasting panel, that their mission in life is to, with a supervisor from the CRT, the Regulatory Council of Tequila, present to open those barrels and see the development of them.
Okay.
And then after we taste them, we get an idea. Oh, maybe in 2 months we're ready here. Okay, great. It gives us, those tasting notes that we
Right.
have to like tap and have an idea for when and when. Then we open. Oh, it's ready. Oh wow, maybe need a little bit more time. So we have to ask for that extra time and seal it and again and bring them
Right.
back
And then
together.
you have a government agency there
Yep.
when you're doing these too. So it's not like just like, you
Yep.
can go
It's
willy nilly and start,
uh,
pulling stuff.
to give you an example, guys, of tequila. I always say this to people, and people's like, "What?" Tequila is the most regulated alcoholic beverage in the planet.
Even more than cognac?
Yes.
Really?
Listen, we
Okay.
have to certify the agave plants that we're going to plant
Right.
or the seeds. They need to be certified. Step number one. Once you're going to harvest, you need to certify that agave that you're going to harvest again, that is age, maturity, and the certification is granted. Once you mount that piñas into a truck, that truck needs to get certified. When you receive those piñas at a distillery, X or R, there's another certification amount of tons of agave piñas that you
Because
got.
that's where you're going to compare against how much alcohol you made.
Yeah, it gives you that
Right.
exactly. And then once you make that into a liquid, it needs to get certified again. Once it leaves Mexico, there's a tax and a certification there too. So, does that happen to cognac? No.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, we can go do we just celebrated our 250th anniversary. I don't know if we want to get into the articles of taxation and how much it costs all of us to do the double taxation and triple taxation that we fought so hard to get rid of the English taxation. So I'll leave that alone.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But you are an expert because you know how much taxes you paid to get it into that bottle.
Indeed, but like
And then over here, what you're dealing with too.
there are countries, for example, in Mexico, we do not sell Mijenta in Mexico because of a tax reason. We gift it. There's amazing 50 best restaurants and amazing bars that I know the owners and bartenders. I have to give it to them, you know, because if I try to sell it in Mexico, there's this amazing, beautiful tax called the YEPSTAT. Let's not talk about it. It is cheaper for
No
them.
one's listening to this anyways. Don't worry about
Okay, good.
it.
It will be cheaper for somebody in Mexico to come across the border and buy it here than buy it in Mexico. And it's made in Mexico.
Right. That doesn't happen too often.
All right.
There
Are
you
you
go.
guys ready for another reposado?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna try a beautiful product that is a reposado cristalino. That's another classification. It's not a style of tequila. It is a style, but it's not an official style of tequila. Okay. It's a reposado. You can make cristalinos from añejos or from reposados, most likely. Okay. So a cristalino is a process in which you allow the maturity to happen in a barrel or several of them, and then you charcoal filter the brown liquid, the aged color of it, and make it somehow clear. That's what's called cristalino, crystal clear. Okay? It's a style that trends very much in Mexico because it's the closest thing to a tequila blanco, the number one that we had. And in Mexico, that's the number one tequila being consumed. Blancos is the opportunity that you have as a consumer to find out somebody put something in it or took something away. And they love their blancos there. So Cristalino is like moving very fast. All right. So let's have this reposado Cristalino. What we did in this case, Ana Maria totally like hit a home run. This is a product that I adore. It's very close to my heart. Although I have to confess publicly that I was the Cristalino Antichrist until I tried. Yes. Why will you age it and then take it away? That was my, Jedi mentality.
That was a really good recall on that one.
Yeah,
Going back, just giving everybody the dramatization of how it was.
So one day at the distillery, I remember it was a Thursday early. Juanito, she calls me Juanito. I want you to try this Blanco tequila and tell me what you think. And she served me, a beautiful amount of it. And I was like, wow, what is this? Are we going to launch this Blanco? I was like, I became a poet. I was one of those
Expounding
amazing,
on and on
yeah,
about it, right?
yeah, I was Oscar Wilde, expressing
She's
myself, very
laughing.
sophisticated. And she's like,
Uh-huh.
okay, you love it? I love it. This is it. We're gonna be famous for this. I'm glad that you like our Cristalino. And I just turned my neck. This is a Cristalino. Oh my God. I had to eat all my words one by one, but the product is amazing. I could not pedal back in public. So I was like, wow, you fooled me. You really got me this time. Because I remember, I remember 2019 and 2020 buying so many Cristalinos. I'm like, well, why people will do this? I don't remember one that I like.
Yeah, but the thing is different about this one, and you're going to tell me more about it. But the thing is about this one is she's reversed engineered this to come out with a flavor that shouldn't be. In other words, if you did the Cristalino, if you took this, did she just take this and make it a Cristalino? She
No,
didn't. She made a different reposado,
a different blend.
a different blend, and then did the Cristalino because she already knew way she wanted it to come out.
So during the early days of the pandemic,
That's like taking something away to make something better,
somehow it's
right?
a reverse
Right?
engineering, but this
Yeah.
is what you did, so you guys don't be too far from the tree. During the early days of the pandemic, the barrel industry collapsed, as every other industry, as we know, and all the Coopers of the world, the great ones here in the United States, were not moving barrels as fast as we could. There was no containers. There was
Right.
no business. Period. We got into a conversation with some, and Ana Maria was able to um, secure a couple of barrels that are very cool. And these barrels are called symphony barrels. And it means every stave of the barrel, I see one right here.
Yep. You want us to? Well, this is a regular. Those are. I probably
Every
have one of those.
every stave of the barrel that makes this barrel is made out of a different oak tree.
Yeah.
So we have four different states
do
in
have
United States that produce these
Sure.
oak trees.
Thank you.
There were different provenance.
There you go.
There we go. So imagine a barrel has different trees instead of just one tree. Different age, different toasting, different curing methods for the wood, different grains because the trees are different. Imagine that. So you have yourself a unique ecosystem that breathe in different ways. So you have a little bit of American white oak that has a tighter grain and it will be a little bit sweeter. We have Cali, we have Virginia, we have Kentucky and Minnesota here. And that's what we got these barrels. So we put our Blanco tequila into these barrels. And within about 7 to 8 months, the outcome was incredible. These barrels are new. Char number 4. The color that comes out of it is intense. It's actually kind of like an añejo looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just basically charcoal filtered the liquid without any pressure because pressure is a very important part of the equation here.
Because
When
you
you
start taking
abruptly
flavor, you start taking flavor
yeah,
out, right?
you remove color,
And
flavor, and
flavor.
aroma.
Yeah.
In paper, you're just supposed to remove the color, not the flavor nor the aroma. But when you have a water pump pushing tequila through a pad of charcoal or something, or one of those things, you're being very aggressive to it, and you're gonna lose some of the things that you don't want to lose. So that's what you did. And here we have a very unique, creamy, charismatic, beautiful, rich in power of agave tequila. For me, it tastes somewhere between agave, coconut, and vanilla, and I think it's amazing. This is the perfect tequila for the espresso martini, guys. This is it. This is the power, the Jedi
The
power
Jedi.
on the espresso martini.
These are not the droids
Yes.
you're looking for.
Yes. So I hope it's up to your liking. This is definitely
What do you guys think?
tequila
We'll take
that-
that. I'll take
thank you.
it.
that
You like
does-
this? Yeah, it's really cool, right? It's very unlike a lot of other Cristalinos that I've had. And I must say, I agree with you. It's one of the few Cristalinos I've actually liked.
Um,
So she sold me on this one too.
I'm stuck in here.
Yeah.
that this is mine.
I always thought of like you.
Yeah, and
I'm like, it's sort of a weird process to go through to make everything look clear.
yeah,
But if the process creates something that's sort of cool, then I'm in.
it's pristine. It's beautiful in a glass. And God forbid you guys like have one of those bottles and you put it in your freezer. When it comes out of it, wow, where's my tres leches, my dessert?
Yeah.
Where's that cookie? Yes, you want that because it's just
Yeah. Very good. You
yes.
guys like this? Yeah. She sold you on it too? Yeah. All right. All right. Number 4.
All right, we're gonna
We're
try.
gonna run out of time. We gotta get
Really?
going here. Yeah.
Giddy up, Juan. Okay,
Giddy up. We gotta
we're gonna be
drink.
good. Okay, we're gonna try another reposado. Okay, and then we go faster. All right.
All right.
So the next reposado will be this one. This one is a symphony reposado. In other words, imagine that we didn't charcoal filter this, and we went straight with it. Okay. Somehow more time, but this one is gonna be a big hit because I know you guys are
Is this
whiskey.
the Anejo? Is this the Anejo?
This is the
Symphony?
symphony. Yeah.
Symphony. It's not on the sign. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Johnny.
Sorry. Yes. Right. We're right here.
It's a
Right?
surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise.
It's a surprise. Yeah.
This one's not available anymore, right? Is this the one that's not available?
It's still available.
We
yeah.
still can get this? Okay. Good to know.
So here's where I'm going. I know you guys are like whiskey evangelistas because you guys done educative classes and seminars here, and I'm very thankful for that because this will prepare you for the next one. This one, since it has a lot of like barrel content,
Pull it up just a little bit.
since it had a lot of like barrel contact with it, pardon me, it develops some of those like whiskey lactose nuances
Toffee.
that are very characteristic on whiskey, and that's beautiful. But keep your eyes on the agave. If it doesn't taste like agave, chase me out of this building. Okay?
It is still, even though you have those flavors, it is still spirit driven.
Yeah. So in here we celebrate the Oyamel butterfly, which is a monarch butterfly that makes his journey from Canada and ends the journey all the way in Oyamel, Mexico. And it takes 3 generations of those butterflies to complete the journey. So we are showcasing the journey of tequila into this beautiful bottle. This was a limited edition on LTO that Ana Maria came up with, and it's a product for those like people that look for that intensity, those rich connoisseurs of it. I drink this with bitter chocolate, like cacao, 90%. With a little bit of coffee on the side. It's good to smell coffee and back and forth with this. Caramelized pineapple. If you smoke cigars, like I see you do, you're my friend. You're my new best friend. You know that? Like, wow, this is your moment if you enjoy those things, you know.
Right.
And I always say, you know, a good, delicious piece of chocolate is like the best, like neutralizer because it coats you. The cacao, the lecithin of it goes beautiful with products like this. So this tequila, this is Mijenta Symphony Reposado. I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay.
That's really nice. I always like the chocolate when you get the chocolate in your mouth, it sort of coats your mouth and then it gets cut by the tequila or the whatever
Yes.
it gets, you know, or if you're doing whiskey, it gets cut by that.
Yeah.
It's sort of like it almost opens and explodes. I like that.
That
Really good.
richness, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like they go hand to hand. And
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you guys
Right.
think of that? Did you like that one? Yes. Great. Let me know if anybody wants any because there's very little of this left, but I guess we can still get some if you guys want it. So
Okay, we're going with number 5.
I don't know. I have no idea.
We're
Number
going,
5.
We're going with number 5, and this is a present. I don't know if you guys met Richard Dorkin right here.
Richard's in the front. Take a bow, Richard.
Raise your hand, and you know, and
Thank him for this.
this is thank you very much for bringing this product. By the way, this is a product that we launched a year ago, and sold out, like bye. And this was an homage to the true tradition of tequila in Mexico. I mentioned before that there was 5 states that make tequila. I'm not saying that one is better than the other one, but we concentrate our efforts in Jalisco. but states like Tamaulipas and Nayarit and Guanajuato, they do beautiful products there. You guys have some of them upstairs. And what we wanted to like express here with Ana Maria, the intention here was to express how terroir affects agave, hence tequila. If we're gonna talk wine, I'm gonna be, because Burgundy is amazing, and
Right.
and then you're gonna be Austria is the best, and then we're gonna defend our Napa and Sonoma, and then God forbid there's an Argentina. My wife is from Argentina, and they're very strong at it, like they don't lose like Messi, and it's terroir affects everything. My definition of terroir, it is everything that your eyes can see, anything that is above you, anything that is below your souls. That goes humidity, altitude, forage, plants around, type of soil. Soil is very important. Why don't we talk about soil for a second? Soil in tequila or in agave per se is unique. Remember, these plants are starving and striving to make it in life. So they start like, absorbing different minerals. In our case in Jalisco, the soil is red, tierra roja, as we call it, depicts the richness of iron content in it. But there are terroirs that are cascajados, means it has like pebbles and stones. When you find a sand, like a beach sand soil, it's different because the water just permeates. When you have some rocks, it's cool because perhaps the sun hit the rock and it didn't dehydrate the moisture underneath, and the water the plant can absorb it, and the difficulties of the level of the terroir is intense. Okay, but each one of the terroirs brings in that minerality that is unique to it. Okay, so there is white clay that doesn't have the iron. We have the iron. It makes us very different from any other state in Mexico. So in this tequila, we're gonna try a little bit of the iron content. We're gonna have agaves par level with the ocean at the beach, coastal agave, so it brings that salinity.
You can smell it.
You're gonna have agaves that are like from deer uh, places that have like deers going crazy all around, and there's a foliage and it's more green. You're also gonna have agave from the butterfly season and all that. So it's a cornucopia of flavors and aromas. It's incredible. It's rich. It has that nuttiness to it that is quite beautiful.
Right on the nose, you're getting like this umami sort of like.
It reminds me
right?
like roasted peanut.
Yeah,
a little bit.
and you get
Super earthy, yes.
Yeah, you get
So-
that earthy, and I get salinic in that too.
So what our Maestro Tequilera did here was amazing. We created the first database of terroir per tequila. So we went and bought agave from different regions, from the 5 regions, and we made 5 tequilas. We started combining this one with this one, this one with that one, this, and we created this database to acknowledge the difference on terroir that hasn't been done in Mexico ever. Sort of like what they do with wine, and they do in different regions of whiskey as well. So we're using the same process, the same care, the same age on the agaves, but different soils. And this is what we did. We created a combination of so many different, data for this, and it's quite amazing. We did learn a lot from this. So to you guys, salute.
You know what?
This
Salute.
is the Maestra Selección number 2. Every year we do a maestra selection to honor all the female maestras tequileras, and it's Ana Maria's gift to the tequila world. Cheers.
The thing on this is that it's silky. You guys get that mouthfeel? And when you're drinking it, it's like this silkiness to it, and it ends with a little bit of salinic again on the finish. It's really cool. It's really cool. I don't think I've had that like that. You know when people say like smooth, which I hate. So I hate that word because it usually means weird stuff. This I rather use something like on this. It's silky. Because it actually feels like liquid silk going into your mouth. It's really cool.
It has a soft impact on the palate,
Right.
but then it opens up.
But it opens up. Right.
You
Yeah.
go from bell peppers to mushrooms
Mhm.
to overripe mangoes and flowers in like a heartbeat.
What do you guys think? I hope you really like it because you can never get it again. So enjoy it.
All right. So last but not least, I know we're running out of time. We're gonna end up with a Mijenta Añejo, and this is our Gran Reserva. We had opportunity.
That's number 4 on the sign. That's the last one. It's number
Yeah.
4
It's number 4 on the sign.
on the sign. On the sign, it is.
Oh, okay.
The
Sorry.
last one on the sign.
Okay.
We had 2 that were not planned for tonight, so you get a little extra. I'm sure no one's going to complain about that, especially after the taste of them.
So this is tequila that perhaps is the one that we're, besides the Blanco, the most proud of as well. I like to make fun of it because you cannot take yourself very seriously all the time, and you need to be able to enjoy and have fun. And this is not a corporation methodology. We're not 100-year-old family making tequila. We're none of that. We're just a group of people that believe in doing things in reverse. We didn't have an office. I remember when we need to have an office legally. We need to have a place to receive
to get the mail.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you need all those certifications to go somewhere.
It was the last thing we did, and we're like, oh, in a rush, heartbeat. But back to you. In here, we wanted to be able to express the power of the artistry of agave. This is a blended tequila. We use 4 different barrels: American white oak, sherry, acacia, and French oak. No one ever did a tequila like this before. We were the first one. And again, it's not a whiskey. It's a beautiful tequila with character. Okay? This is the part in when I bring in the Star Wars. And this is Darth Vader. Tequila, I'm your father. And this is the Master Jedi from our company. I hope you guys find the beautiness and the delicate aromas, the cherry popping in there, the French oak complexity, and the beauty and delicate vanilla of the American white oak present in there because it lingers. This one will leave your lips. You'll be talking for the next half hour, and you will get those beautiful aromas. I want to thank you guys all for being here with us today. And as we say, mi gente, por la tierra, por la gente, y por la vida. For the land, for the people, and for life. Salute.
Salute. Thank you, sir.
Ching.
Ding. That's
French, American, sherry wood barrels, and acacia.
okay. So Lisa's gonna hate this note that I get, but I do smell the vanilla on the nose on this, but there's also a hint of black licorice anise. There's just a
Cherry
hint
cola.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Red fruit, yes.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And the finish is very long and lingering. It's great. I love it. I love it. Well, listen, Juan, thank you so much for coming tonight. We
Thank you
really,
guys
really
for having
appreciate
me.
it. I hope you
Thank you
guys
very much.
enjoyed this
Thank
tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We're gonna say we got a couple things to go through. We're gonna say goodbye, everybody. Everybody online. It was great. I'm glad you followed along. We had a lot of people looking tonight. It was great to have you, but you should have been here because it was awesome. All right, we're leaving everybody online. Thank you. You can always get this on wherever you get your podcasts or anything. We can look at our YouTube channel. It's the Liquor Talking. Thanks for coming tonight.